One of my favorite quotes is, words mean things, and words mean things to different people with different identities. No person is monolithic. We have multiple identities, and no person comes to work with their identities back at home. My identities and my past experiences are the lens through which I see the world. I have been in spaces where I didn't feel comfortable talking about being gay or issues that impact me as a Black man. I know what it's like to walk into a workplace and want to be able to show up authentically. And not being able to do that changes the way you show up to work every single day. I want people to not assign a narrative to my Blackness. I don't care if people go, oh, that's a Black man. I'm okay with that. That's part of who I am. But it's the narrative that we add to it that makes it problematic. We automatically assume certain things as opposed to allowing them to tell us who they are and how they show up with that identity. We make people invisible without even knowing it. It's, did we have a choice to define ourselves the way we want it to be? That's the conversation that we're trying to have. I started Brave Trainings about 4 years ago because of my own experiences within the workplace. And it really stemmed from my passion to help organizations create cultures of belonging where people can come to work, be themselves, and feel safe and secure. Oftentimes, an organization will call me in after something has happened around a particular topic, be it transphobia, race, sexism, xenophobia, ageism, and I come in to help those employees have a conversation. Own your intentions and your impact. The idea that we can live in two truths at the same time, that I can both wake up in the morning without the intent to harm, but also harm. I can walk in here this morning and say that I had no intent in pissing anyone off, but I might, right? And I can own both those at the exact same time. And ideally, what I would love for us to have a conversation around is, I didn't mean that, I apologize, but I see that I've had an impact on you. Can we talk about it? Versus what we typically do, well, I didn't mean it, as if that's supposed to erase the hurt that someone's words or behaviors might have added. I think people naturally want to run away from fear and from guilt that come along with acknowledging and owning the fact that you've caused harm to someone else. I don't need to know what it's like to be a woman, what it's like to be trans, in order for me to acknowledge that your lived experience matters and exists. I need to find something within myself and my own experiences that connects with the emotion that you're feeling through your experience. Because it's that information, it's that root cause that allows us to then do the work to actually make some change. Gay, straight, Black, white, male, female, whatever you name it, we all have unconscious bias. You can be a good person and also have some unconscious bias. Why do I interrupt women when they're talking? Doesn't mean that I woke up with the intent, I'm gonna interrupt 3 women today, I cannot wait, it's gonna be so much fun. That's not my goal, but it happens. How do I reach back and go, what is that about? That's our job. But I think what prevents us from reflecting on that is that it means I'm a bad person. Because we've been taught that when you do wrong, you're a bad person. Let people know Cornell said that that's not true, right? That we all make mistakes. Perfection in my mind does not exist. It's what I do with the times when I'm not perfect that matters. And so our job is to unpack what is my unconscious bias and how does it play out in the world in which I navigate. Why do we wait for the one person to get started when in reality we are the person that we're waiting for? Change starts with you. My goal every single day isn't necessarily to get people to change the way they think right after one conversation with me. For me, it's about planting seeds. It's about getting people thinking a different way than they're used to thinking. And my hope and my prayer is that people that they interact with after me will continue to water that seed, continue to help it grow. Leaning into the discomfort in these conversations is super important to moving the needle around diversity and inclusion. How did I get here? How did I get to this belief, this moment in time? Challenge it, ask questions, go research. What's the other perspective? What gives me hope and optimism is the idea that people actually want to have the conversation. And a part of my job as a facilitator is to help people see themselves in the diversity conversation. That makes this issue around diversity and inclusion something that we all should be invested in.